Well, hey, howdy, hi, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for stopping by to join me today. I really do appreciate it. My name is Ellie, and I'm a witch. And this over here is my substitute teaching assistant, Nyx. And today is Tuesday, and on my channel that means it is tea time and true crime. Today's true crime case is going to be the case of Brian Shookman. I don't really have any rambling for the beginning of this video like I normally do. I'll save that to the end of this one. So let's just go ahead and jump into talking about this case. So this case is an unsolved disappearance, and there are still no updates as to what has happened to this day. If you are not a fan of unsolved cases, I am right there with you, but I do have plenty of solved cases on my channel if you want to look at one of those instead. This is also a bit of a shorter video as there is a lack of information, but I do still think that is important to speak on. So Brian Edward Shookman, also known as Beaver by his family, was born January 19th of 1980. He lived in Great Falls, Montana. Now, from what I could find, he did not have a significant other in 2012 when he disappeared, but he did have a son. Now, by 2012, he had just gotten a job installing windmills, something that he was really looking forward to, and he was also several years sober after battling drug addiction. It was July 28th of 2012 that Brian and his family were having a get-together in Kellogg, Idaho. One of Brian's cousins was hosting at their house, but the plan was to move the gathering to a local park. Now, it is unclear when Brian left or where he went next. Some sources say that he left at noon to see a friend, while others say he left at 3 p.m. to go to his aunt's house in Osborne, Idaho. Regardless, Brian left the party and seemingly vanished without a trace. He was officially reported missing on August 1st. Roughly 3 weeks later, Brian's maroon 1998 Ford Escort was found on a mountain access road in Wallace, Idaho. There were no signs of foul play or of a struggle in or around the vehicle. In his car, officers found energy drink cans, which were tested and were positive for Brian's DNA, so the assumption is that he drank them on his way to the family gathering. The other thing officers noticed was that the driver's seat positioning was not set to how Brian would have had it if he was the one driving. Now, when Brian was in Idaho, he was going to be staying with his cousin Justin Smith. Now, Justin was an addict himself, struggling with methamphetamine use. Now, some people believe that Brian's disappearance could have been drug-related and that he himself had relapsed. Danielle Banning, Brian's sister, said that at the reunion, Justin arrived without Brian. Justin also reportedly was trying to scare the children present and talking about killing someone or getting a dead body out of the way. Now, officers did interview 2 known dealers who were thought to have some knowledge of the disappearance. Both claimed they knew nothing about Brian, but one of them did say that Justin was very paranoid when high and they would not have put it past him to fly off the handle at Brian. Both men did agree to a DNA test, which was tested against the DNA on energy drink cans, and both came back negative. Now, Justin's girlfriend at the time was also interviewed and seemed very uncomfortable with the questioning. She claimed to know nothing and said she wasn't even at the reunion, which was disproven using pictures from the event. Justin also claimed to know nothing about the disappearance and has not been charged in connection to the disappearance. Officers working on the case have said that they have 4 individuals they suspect of having some involvement. However, they do not have enough evidence to charge anyone. Police have also said it is unlikely to have been a drug overdose, otherwise they would have found his body nearby his car. Rather, it seems the car was a diversion. Where the car was found, the off-trail areas are frequented by hunters, therefore somebody would have seen him had he gotten lost and succumbed to the elements. The conclusion was that it was foul play. They just need concrete evidence and the body to prove that. Officer Lee, one of the lead investigators on the case, said, quote, "I do have a strong feeling that there are 1 or more people involved in this, and I just hope that, before they get old or their time is up, that they come forward and do something about it so that we can find Brian," end quote. Mason, who was Brian's son, was deeply affected by his father's passing. He was very insistent that they get a headstone for his father even though no body had been found. The family did get a headstone made and placed for Brian 8 years after his disappearance. The headstone had an outline of Montana and the words, "Forever soaring with eagles, fishing in the streams." The family was glad that they did choose to get a headstone when they did because Mason passed away in 2021. 2 days before the 9th anniversary of his father's disappearance, Mason took a Percocet that he did not know was laced with fentanyl and died at age 16. Brian's headstone is now joined by Mason's and his sister Danielle's. Now, Brian's family is seemingly split on what happened to him. Some believe he met an unfortunate end thanks to Justin, while others think it was drug-related and he simply wandered into the wilderness and died. However, his family has to come to the conclusion that he did pass and are just asking for any help relocating his remains so that he can be laid to rest. For the 10-year anniversary of his disappearance, the family put up a $10,000 reward for information about the whereabouts of his body. For more information about this case, if you are interested, Cold Justice has an episode about Brian. The episode title is Mystery on the Mountain. If you have any information that may help bring closure to the family, you can contact law enforcement at 208-556-1114 or email Jlee at shoshonso.com or the family at 208-792-7886 or by email at bringbrianhome@outlook.com, all of which will also be added in the description below. And that is all that I have for you today. I really wish that there was more that I could tell you about this case, or if there was any update, since it has been 12 years now since the disappearance, but unfortunately no headway has been made. Of course, if any of you have any information, I've heard anything, seen anything, please reach out to law enforcement or the family, and maybe that can help bring them some closure. But yeah, this one was a sad case all around, the family not having closure before his sister passed away, and then his son tragically passing away from drug addiction, which obviously is something that Brian suffered with, is also very unfortunate. Now to just get to the rambly part that I said I was going to get to, I just want to say thank you to everybody, the new Coven members. I appreciate you guys joining me here. I said yesterday that I was 1 subscriber away from 100 subscribers, and now I'm coming up on 115. And so that's crazy. Thank you so much for the support. I really do appreciate that. But also, I just received a comment on my misheard history video from yesterday about how it is very disrespectful to make videos like this, and even my misheard history cases being disrespectful to victims. And I 100% agree that we need to respect victims. However, I do not think that means ignoring what has happened, because history is what it is, and I think it is important to bring attention to these cases, whether it be historically or true crime related. I definitely understand where people come from when they say that it's not something that should be used for entertainment. I definitely agree that a lot of the documentaries on Netflix and a lot of videos here on YouTube can be very disrespectful, and people laughing seemingly at victims or at situations, that's not something that I agree with personally. However, people deal with trauma in different ways. Some people laugh when they're dealing with trauma. Maybe it's uncomfortable to talk about, and so you laugh or something like that, and that can be misconstrued as disrespect. I personally try my hardest to make sure that all of my videos are respectful. It's why whenever I do true crime cases, I tend to do the all black, more muted makeup, just because these are real people. But I do laugh at some of the history events because they are funny, and you can find entertainment in historical events, something that's just objectively funny. I'm never going to sit here and laugh at a victim, because that's not okay. That's a real person who had a real life, who actually died or was maimed or whatever the situation may be, and that is never going to be something that I do. So I just wanted to make that abundantly clear that that is not what I set out to do, and I deeply apologize if that is ever something that I have done. And if you can please point out a direct incident of me doing that, I will gladly take down the video, correct it, issue an apology, because that is not what I set out to do. But I will laugh at historical events like the defenestration of Prague, where they threw people out the window, because it's wild, it is bizarre, and it is very sad that it happened, but deeply interesting, and it is completely out of the norm. So yes, you do laugh or you find entertainment in things that are not your norm. But yeah, I just wanted to put that little bit out there. Thank you if you do tell me that something is disrespectful, and thank you for commenting whether or not you find something disrespectful. We can definitely agree to disagree. We don't have to have the same viewpoints on any of these things. Your opinions are totally valid, and I welcome them. If you want to share them, I really deeply appreciate that. But I just want to let you guys know that I'm not going to stop making videos like this. I enjoy doing this. I've taken criminology classes. My goal in college is to get a PhD in history, and so this is something that I care about doing and I care about talking about, and so I'm going to continue to do that. But enough about that. Genuinely thank you guys so much for being here and watching and coming back every week. I appreciate that, and for letting me talk about this stuff. It's definitely been very much a dream come true, and I appreciate every single one of you who stick around and hang out. But yeah, this weekend, this Saturday, is going to be the first episode of my Halloween series called Dark Deeds and Demons, where I'm going to be talking about true crime cases, and I have a couple of misheard histories thrown in there, and I will have my normal stuff on Monday. I will be On Monday, I will be talking about the history of superstitions. I'll just go over a couple of superstitions. Well, not a couple, many superstitions that kind of explain what they mean, why they came about, if they're still really common to this day. And then for my tea time and true crime next week, I'll be talking about the Judge Rottenberg Educational Center. And yeah, and then just 13 days starting on Saturday of my Dark Deeds and Demons series. Speaking of, so I said I introduced him as substitute teaching assistant, Nix. So this is Nix. This is Andy's stunt double or body double, whichever you prefer, because Andy is currently in costume for Saturday, and I didn't want to take him out because he looks too cute, so he's in costume still. So we'll see you guys on Saturday for that. But enough of that ramble, that was a lot of words, wow. Anyway, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you on Saturday. Bye.